So this one's gonna be again about health and James Clear opinions on health and scientific facts on health and or junk food and various other things. I at least guess. Yeah, again and again and again. And with that being said, hello, welcome back to the next episode of the Self-Development with Tactics fucking podcast. And for all the people that might be listening to this as a podcast or as the podcast version, the intro wasn't working. Like, yeah. Well, it's also working somehow, and it's also good somehow, but it's not quite, as good as it could be. And you can clearly see this. I'm sorry if this was just really loud, but I do have to make it work somehow. Because I want to have my light in my face and not somewhere else. Oh my god, looking at it, cold time. Never mind. So this episode's gonna be just also not edited because I've decided to actually not edit the other one as well. Because of various reasons, I think I'm not gonna talk about it now. Because I would rather go through the episode and try to get as much value and as much volume and as much good stuff into it so that you can actually learn something, that I can actually learn something, that we both get something from this. Because why not? And I've also just been just thinking whether I should actually change something, whether I should actually maybe only be as a face cam kind of thing somewhere there or not. But I don't know. Like, I think it's good like this. I think it's okay like this. And I guess, I do just have to produce things. I guess. And I also might just have to kind of upgrade my my speaking skills, my communication skills, so that it is a little bit more interesting or something like this, and not through editing and not through just getting some sound effects there or something, because I do just have certain abilities to edit here, which is quite great, I would say. Like this and this and that and this and of course that. So yeah, the lighting is still not on point. Now it is. Kinda. Actually having a fucking plastic bag just above my PC in front of my screen. My screen is actually also on so that there's actually even more light shining into my fucking face. I might just also turn on the light above me there, but I don't know. I think I'll just go ahead. So how food scientists create cravings, and this is actually something that we have started with in the last episode as well, but I'm just going to recap it because, I do not want you to go through the last episode as well, just because I was too lazy or just felt like, okay, I do just want to do it now, rather than in the other episodes. I guess this, does this actually make any, well, it does make a difference. Maybe I think, I'm often thinking about what I should upgrade, and I guess one of the first things that I'm going to upgrade is actually the fucking lighting, because the lighting is so incredibly bad. But yeah, never mind. So there is a range of factors that scientists and food manufacturers use to make food more addictive. And the first one is actually dynamic contrast. And the dynamic contrast, because I already know it and because I just can get through it or go through it and I just can talk about it, which is great. It basically means that you just have certain, different textures in your food, which for example means, the dynamic contrast between having some salad into a sandwich and the bread itself. When you're biting through some salad, it is just something different than biting through some bread. And the thing there is another sound, also sound plays into it, which is just, kind of amazing or insane maybe even. And also just the texture and the feeling of actually biting through it. And, something that you can see, as they also point out in Oreos, because there's just something tough, something more just, something that has just another structure, not structure, but texture, than the thing in the middle. You just have the kind of, well, it's not a cookie, but it's, what is it called? You just have some dough, some baked dough. I don't fucking know what it's called. You just have some dough, then you have the cream, and then you have another dough, or dough plate kind of thing. Never mind. The thing there is that the dough obviously feels different when biting through it than the cream. And this is the point there. And also the same exact thing with pizza. And what do they say? And some creme brulee. Also the same exact thing. And this was actually it. And I've also pointed out, I do not know if it is actually there or if it was somewhere else, but some people have actually, I think they've actually been researching the best kind of crispiness for their potato chips. They have fucking researched it. Isn't this kind of just insane somewhere? Like, no, it's potato chips. Like, but I get it. Like, it just makes sense because you want to sell them, and the better they are, and the crunchy they are, or the more crunchy they are, the better. Actually, it seems to be the case. So yeah, the next thing is salivary response. What the fucking hell? You know what? It would actually be great if I would be somewhere just over there instead of being here, because I'm so big and the actual text that I'm going through right now is so kinda just, not big. Should I do it like this? Yeah, this was great. Thanks as well. Can you see this? No, you can't. Here we have it. It's really big, but I guess it I don't know if it is actually better than, but I could do it like this. I could do it like this. You know what? I'm gonna do it like this for that. I'm gonna do it like that. And I'm gonna also put there some video capture. Some new video capture. And that one, hello. Oh, no, not gonna make it like this. And I'm gonna be like here. A little bit smaller. Hello. That would actually be nice if there was something white or also the screen there, but now it's black, which is, well, a little bit sad. Never mind. So, salivary response. Salivation is part of the experience of eating food, and the more food causes you to salivate, and salivate actually means secrets saliva, especially in anticipation of food. Now I get it. And I do just realize that it flicks around when I'm just pressing into it. And I do just have to do it like this. Well, yeah, I guess that's okay, isn't it? So salivation actually is kind of the fluid that you get in your mouth, basically. And it seems actually to be also a factor for this fucking shit. Well, so salivation is part of the experience of eating food, and the more food causes you to salivate, the more it will swim throughout your mouth and cover your taste buds. For example, emulsified foods like butter, chocolate, salad dressing, ice cream, and mayonnaise promote a salivary response that helps to lather your taste buds with goodness. This is one reason why many people enjoy food that have sauces or glazes on them. The result is that foods that promote salivation do a happy little tap dance on your brain and taste better than ones that don't. Well, I don't know. Like, it's complicated, I guess. And I haven't thought that there's actually so many different variables and factors that actually lead to food being just good or, that let a food taste good or something taste good. I think it's just, quite amazing, to be honest, because, well, more insane. I'm always using amazing, but I mean like just insane, like something that's, well, just overdone maybe. But it is actually something that's, sometimes is bothering me. If I'm just really getting so fluidy in my mouth when I'm just trying to eat something and I just spit everything out, like, yeah, because I'm opening my mouth and then everything runs out and something like this, which is, well, it's not that nice. It's really not. But yeah, pretty interesting. No, I haven't used that one. Have I used a close-up? Yeah, I have. Well, it's a little fucked up, yeah. Something that I do not find that nice is that I actually do have some black thing just on the bottom of me. Really not that nice. Really not that nice. Rapid food meltdown and vanishing caloric density. Foods that rapidly vanish or melt in your mouth signal to your brain that you are not eating as much as you actually are. In other words, these foods literally tell your brain that you are not full, even though you're eating a lot of calories. By the way, do you see the difference? I know I haven't actually mentioned it. Now I'm actually having a little other color, especially just have a look at my t-shirt, and then I'm going there, and then my t-shirt is accidentally or just suddenly it has another blue tone. I'm gonna fix that pretty quickly. Just give me a second. Is it this one? Yeah, it's that one. I'm very sorry that I'm doing this now, but I guess I would just actually forget it somehow, which is really not that nice. Okay. Am I not able to just... Well, let's do it a different way. Close up, video. Now I'm here, and now I suddenly have a different color. Amazing. But I'm way too big. Now it's good. So yeah, never mind. So it actually, I was thinking about those people that are actually having just some difficulties with gaining weight. There are certain people that have this issue, even though I feel like, way more people actually have the issue of not being able to lose as much weight as they want to do. I think the easiest way to actually lose weight is eating healthy, at my point of view, because, if you're eating healthy, chances are pretty high that you're not consuming as much calories as you're doing right now, with quite a normal kind of the normal kind of diet, so that I actually find that fucking word. Because the thing is, most of those things that are healthy do not have a lot of calories. Oats, for example, actually one of the examples that have a lot of calories. I think 100 grams of oats do have 300 and something calories, which means like, okay, if you're eating just 200 gram of oats, you already have 600 calories. And I'm normally kind of eating this, I guess. I do actually consume a lot of calories, even though just I look pretty thin. I'm somehow a little muscular, I would say, for myself, to maybe actually kind of back myself up, or to actually, not kind of insult myself somehow or talk negatively about myself. Yeah, never mind. But I do actually consume a lot of fucking calories. The thing is, there's a difference between eating a lot of calories and eating a lot of calories that are actually filling you up and that actually, let you feel filled up for a longer period of time. Or just so that you are not hungry or you don't feel hungry, which is, I think, actually the case for oats. I still am eating a lot of oats. I'm eating my oats with some fruits and, that's quite, and sometimes a little cinnamon. because it just tastes good, and there's no, I think there are just a few calories just kind of added through the cinnamon itself. But, I guess it's not that bad. I think it's really not that bad. I think some people won't do it because, some people, maybe bodybuilders, for example, are just so incredibly strict about their nutrition and their diet, so that they can't even just put on one additional calorie through cinnamon or something. It is the case sometimes. But if you're eating healthy, chances are really high that you're not consuming as much calories as you're doing through just a normal diet, as I've said. Because, if you're eating normal diets often contain a lot of sugar and a lot of fat. And, especially fat, I think 1 gram of fat has actually the most calories, compared to protein, and the other one is carbohydrates. So fat has actually the highest amount of calories. I think it is 3, and the other ones have either 1 or 2. I do not remember that. It's always something that I'm quite missing out on. But yeah, if you're eating a lot of fats, then obviously you're going to just also consume a lot of calories, and this, will lead to weight gain. But I do not want to say that you should not consume any fat, because this is actually something that I've always kind of thought, or that I've never ever done because I haven't thought about it, or because of some other reasons, I guess. I've never ever just consumed any fat because I found I do not want to consume fat because it is bad or something, which was the really beginning stage. And then as I found out, okay, fat isn't actually that bad, I haven't started to consume it either, but I've just been like, okay, I know it, but I do not do anything about it. Now, I'm just actually consuming maybe a little bit too much fat, but not in terms of me actually gaining weight or something. I just really don't gain weight. Like, I pretty much can't, If I'm eating a lot of nuts, then I really recognize that I'm gaining weight, and that actually pretty fast, because I'm eating a lot of fucking nuts when I'm eating nuts. But this is it. I'm normally just consuming olive oil as my fat base, or just some nuts or something in my oats. But besides that, I'm actually trying to not consume any animal fats. So I do not consume butter if I can. Sometimes I cannot. If I'm eating out, there is no way around sometimes, or I just don't know it. Or if I'm just at another one's place and they're cooking and they just use butter for cooking, well, it's my problem actually. But yeah, I really hope, by the way, that this window is not too fucking big. But I could actually also stay in here and just scroll there. Yeah, I could do this. I really hope that it is not too big. Well, I guess it is. It is somehow big. Yeah, I guess. It is big, right? But I do not want to be as big. Is it half right now? Yeah, never mind. Can I just add something there? Color source. Woo! I can actually do that. Wow, that's amazing. That's pretty nice. Even though I do just have a little shadow here from the screen there, which is not that bad actually. Which is really not that bad. Well, I'm losing a lot of time there. So in his best-selling book, Salt, Sugar and Fat, and there also seems to be an audiobook of it, author Michael Moss describes conversation with Witherly that explains vanishing caloric density perfectly. I just have to delete some files. Do I need them? No, I don't. I hope, at least. I really hope that I do not need the files that I'm going to delete now, because my PC says your disk is almost full. this is not that nice, because it actually has been the case that my fucking recording then just wasn't there any longer, or it was just broke, and this is not that nice. It is really not. But yeah, so he zeroed right in one of the Cheetos. He zeroed right in on the Cheetos. This, Widderly said, is one of the most marvelously constructed foods on the planet in terms of pure pleasure. So I brought him 2 shopping bags filled with a variety of chips to taste. He zeroed right in on the Cheetos, I'm sorry. This, Widderly said, is one of the most marvelously constructed foods on the planet in terms of pure pleasure. He ticked off a dozen attributes of the Cheetos that make the brain say more. But the one he focused on was the puff's uncanny ability to melt in the mouth. It's called vanishing caloric density. Widderly said, if something melts down quickly, your brain thinks that there is no calories in it. You can just keep eating it forever. Well, it maybe just has to do something with water, and because just water has no fucking calories and water is always kind of fluidly. Or is there something else that is just somehow melting in our mouths? It is actually also the case with chocolate, I guess. And maybe this is also one of the reasons why chocolate is so dangerous in terms of actually it's just you eating it all the fucking time, or something else. It could actually be the case, I do not fucking know. But I guess so, could actually be the case. Could really be the case. But yeah. The next one is sensory specific response. Your brain likes variety. When it comes to food, if you experience the same taste over and over again, then you start to get less pleasure from it. In other words, the sensitivity of that specific sensor will decrease over time. This can happen in just minutes, which is bad. Junk foods, however, are designed to avoid the sensory specific response. They provide enough taste to be interesting, so your brain doesn't get tired of eating them, but it is not so stimulating that your sensory response is dulled. This is why you can swallow an entire bag of potato chips and still be ready to eat another. To your brain, the crunch and sensation of eating Doritos is novel and interesting every time. It really sounds pretty dangerous. Dangerous in terms of you eating just a fucking load of them. Well, yeah, it's really fucked up. It's really fucked up, and I really haven't thought, and it is actually just really learning me a lot. And this is nice, this is nice. And also one of the best things about going through some articles, especially James Clear's fucking articles. They're so amazingly great. They just are. They're really fucking amazing. I can't do anything about it. They're just so amazing. But it's just nice, I'm learning something, you're learning something, win-win situation. Just great. I also can add all the things that I've learned throughout the 300s blah 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 episodes that I've been doing. It is just great for me somehow. And the whole editing thing is just, I guess, something that I should not do. I would rather just have more kind of effects and more some things like this, so that there is some variety in the whole episode. Also like this, I think this has been a great option for me, because I can just, you have the text a little bigger because it is about the text, so that you can read it easier or more easy. I do just also have to see how it is looking like when it is big, because it might also be just too big, or it also could be just pretty nice to read. I don't know. I really don't. I do just want to have some variety, as you should have in your fucking food, in my videos, I guess. The next thing is calorie density. Junk foods are designed to convince your brain that it is getting nutrition, but to not fill you up. Well, it gets more dangerous and fucking dangerous every single time I begin reading a new point. Fuck that. Receptors in your mouth and stomach tell your brain about the mixture of proteins, fats, and carbohydrates in a particular food, and how filling that food is for your body. Junk food provides just enough calories that your brain says, yes, this will give you some energy, but not so many calories that you think that's enough, I'm full. The result is that you crave the food to begin with, but it takes quite some time to feel full from it. The thing that I'm seeing there, or the thing that I'm just asking myself there, is whether what he's saying there, that I'm gonna mark it. And this is actually great. So this screen is actually great to see the whole thing and to mark something and so on, because it's a little bit just further away or something. He says that blah, 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 blah. Junk food provides just enough calories that your brain says, yes, this will give you some energy. Well, I don't know. Let's actually see. Well, can I do this? In terms of, potential monetization kind of thing when I'm doing something? Could this actually be the case? Well, aren't there any other sources? You know what? I'm just doing it because I want to see this and I want to share it with you. So, is there a way I can actually Google Chrome? No, this is actually my white screen, the white screen that is actually in front of me, so that I'm brighter. So that I'm actually brighter. But I can't find the other one, which is a little fucked up. But I can also search there. Well, let's just take this one, I guess. I do just want to see how many calories they have in their certain products. Well, thanks for... Well... there you can see. The problem that I'm having right now actually is that there's a fucking plastic bag with a fucking light inside in front of my screen, so that I cannot say or cannot actually see any fucking thing. That's a little bit too small. Well, let's let it be like this, I guess. Could actually make it a little bigger or something like this. Yeah, you know what? This is great. This is just great. Let's say, well, the light there is a little fucked up. And also my screen of the other PC is also there. Never mind. Breakfast burgers. Let's check out the burgers. It's actually a pretty great site. I just really enjoy it. Spanish cheeseburger, McDouble, hamburger. Let's just take the hamburger, I guess. Well, it's a little bit of a lag here going on. 250 calories for one burger. It is actually not that much, to be honest. It really is not. I thought it would be more. I really thought so. So let's just take something big, something with cheese. Double cheeseburger. Oh, you can actually see the calories there as well. Well, double cheeseburger, 440 calories. It's a lot. Isn't it? It is really a lot. At least I think so. Well, I don't think that this is actually not just enough, or that this is just, well, not much or something. I think that's quite a lot. But yeah. Should I go through the next one as well? Yeah, it's the last one. So, gonna go into reading mode. There we are in reading mode. Memories of past eating experiences. This is where the psychobiology of junk food really works against you. When you eat something tasty, say a bag of potato chips, Your brain registers that feeling. The next time you see that food, smell that food, or even read about that food, your brain starts to trigger the memories and responses that came when you ate it. These memories can actually cause physical responses like salivation and create the mouth-watering craving that you get when thinking about your favorite foods. These factors all combine to make processed food tasty